Hi, mate. You okay?
Yeah.
Can we start with the managerial situation? Where are you at with that? What have you been told? Have you sat down with the owners? Have you been given any indication, any timescales?
I spoke to the chairman the other day. He's just asked us, very similar to the West Ham game, to prepare for this game. And that's where we're at this moment in time. I think anything that's happening after that and around the situation, I'm sure you'll be the first to know. Obviously, it's not an easy process of what's going on. But listen, we've just been asked to deal with this game just as we did with West Ham.
3 games in the next 10 days. Is it important to get a new man in quickly, or would you be prepared to see it through until the end of the season, if necessary?
For me, I understand your question, what you're asking me, and probably the answer I'm going to give you don't. But for me, it's just my sole focus is just on this. It's just make sure this team's prepared. And when I'm asked to actually prepare the team, if I'm asked again to do it again on Sunday, I'll just go through the same process as what we're doing now. So I understand your question. I'm sorry I can't give you any more information than that.
How have the players reacted over the last few days? Because it's been a big change for them. Yeah. What can you change in such a short period of time? And have you been in contact with Sean? Have you had a good chat with him over the last few days?
Listen, I haven't had time to do that. Regarding what the players have shown, I think you've seen that the other day in the game. I actually said to him yesterday, I don't think I actually give them the credit that they deserved. Sometimes when you watch the game back and you take the emotion out of it and you're actually seeing what happened in the game, they showed some real good qualities. That character you're after, from the work rate, the togetherness, that having to dig in when you have to. They showed that in spades, and that's the identity of this group. You know, there was a lot of pressure on that group the other day. A lot of people asking questions of them. But again, they showed that they're willing to fight. They're willing to come together for it. And that's a really good thing to see at this moment in time.
Back-to-back home games. Is this the big opportunity to turn the season around? And depending on what happens tonight with Everton, a chance to put pressure on the teams above?
Yeah, the 2 home games are good. I think if we can keep that mentality and then add what can be in that stadium, you only have to look at that Everton game. And that with the backing and the atmosphere under the lights, that can become really powerful for the group. And I'm sure with the backing that we've had already, you only have to look and coming down to West Ham. And again, I mentioned that Everton game, the atmosphere that can be created inside Turf Moor under the lights can be really powerful. So that's what we're after.
And Ashley Westwood, is there an update on him? It looked really nasty at the weekend. How is he?
Yeah, listen, the thing with Ash was, it's really disappointing for him first off and for the group. I thought he reacted really well. In terms of Ash, at this moment in time, he's going down to see a surgeon today. The doctor's going with him. So we'll know a little bit more after that. Probably later on today whether he needs further in terms of an operation. So we'll know that. But listen, with Ash, he's such a popular member of the group that I think as well, that's another thing that we can tap into. Try and put a smile on the lad's face when he turns the telly on tomorrow night and he turns the result on. Just remember what you're doing it for with him as well, because he's such a pop. Even when I'm with the young group, I use him as an example. I show the lads clips of him, how he behaves, how he plays. He's such a role model around the place. So we just hope he gets better as quick as he can.
Thank you.
No worries, thank you.
Could you just turn that Burnley mic towards you a little bit, please?
This one.
Yeah, thanks. Mike, just with Ashley, obviously you've spoken there about what he does off the pitch and everything, but what about on the pitch? Does it leave you short in midfield?
Yeah, we are a little. Don't get me wrong, we are a little bit light in there, but that's why you have a squad. Ash has his own qualities. Josh come in, he has his own qualities. So you just have to maybe tweak a couple of things in terms of how you play. But listen, these are Premier League players. They're in a squad. They're here to play. They're not here to keep me company. They're here to play the game. So we're disappointed with Ash, but it happens in football. And the group's ready, and the people are ready to step up. We make sure we keep working with them, and make sure when the time comes that they're ready to come on. Is
one thought of yours that you wish you'd inherited a bigger squad, do you think?
I think every manager would like to have a bigger squad and more of everything. That's more players, more quality, more money. I think everyone always says that, but listen, we've got what we have. What we've got to tap into is what we actually are. We've got to keep remembering that. We can't come away and think all of a sudden we're something else. what's been good here, tap into it, use it from what we did the other day, show them qualities again, and take them into the next game.
So apart from the Westwood's injury, which was obviously awful, do you feel really positive about what you've done over the last week with the result, with Valvecchio scoring another goal, all those things? Yeah,
I'm positive. I think someone mentioned it to me the other day about the game. You've got to try and see these as opportunities, these games now, not burdens. You've got to approach them like that, challenges, opportunities, because that's what they are. You can have a go the other way and look at it and go, well, oof, or you just take it on. This group's proven in the past they're willing to take stuff on. You've got to be able to do that. The game that you're playing, that's the world that you live in. So that's what we need to do now. Take this challenge on, bring all the qualities together that we shown the other day. Can we get the consistency now? More consistency in the way we play. And it was good to get Wout to get his goal the other day. That gave him a lot of confidence. I thought he did really well the other day.
Ben Mee's injury. What's the latest on that?
Yeah, he still won't be ready. He's coming along nicely. But it's not as if he's going to be back for the weekend, but he's coming along okay.
Do you think he'll play again this season?
Fingers crossed. We are hoping he'll be ready for the end of the season, or before that.
Okay, just on Southampton, I suppose it's obvious to look at their set pieces they get from James Ward-Prowse. Is that that's obviously one of the thoughts you've got to take into account when you're preparing for them?
And it's well documented on his set play delivery. I think everybody knows that. It's no secret. Again, you do your preparation, you do your work. At the end of the day, that ball's coming in. You have to make sure you're good in your own 18-yard box. It's as simple as that. We know how Southampton play. They've got a real good identity, principles of what they do. It's really clear to see. But again, we just focus on how we can combat that and how we can make sure that we have an impact on them as well.
You enjoying it, Mike? Can you enjoy it?
In a strange way, yeah. In another way, if you ask me family and people like that I've not seen probably for 3 or 4 days, then probably not. But listen, it's the world. It's the world we live in. So that's probably some of it. It's a bit sick in a way. That's why you do it.
As long as you're enjoying the press conferences, it's all right.
Oh, love them, yeah. Love them. Yeah. Can't wait for another one.
Sorry, Mike. Just in terms of your position here, there's been there was a lot made last night with Manchester United about an interim manager and the players looking for excuses. Gary Neville mentioned it in his commentary. Are you wary of that? Is there any indication that the players might not be switched on because they know somebody else is coming after you for all the plight that the club are in?
No, I've not seen anything in that. Again, I can only go back to what I've seen from the group in the last few days. If you would have been in that dressing room before the game and seen that group come together as it did, then you can see why I'm asking the question or answering your question like I did. I'm privy to that inside and seeing what it meant to them. And I've seen what they were like after the game. I've seen what they're like. They were really disappointed in terms that they haven't come away from there with more. Like I said to them, listen, don't be too disappointed. There were some real good signs in that. So in terms of that, I'm not worried about that whatsoever.
And when you talk about you looked at Sunday's game, you're looking at this game, then you might look at next Sunday's game. Clearly, for the football club and the group of players and everybody here, there's an end goal, which is to try and stay in the Premier League. How easy is it to focus on one game, which might be all you're in charge for, while it's at the same time there's a bigger picture and you've got a mountain of games and you might have to, I don't know, work out how you're going to use your players in which games?
I think what you're saying there, you just got to focus, and it's every manager or every person in charge. You can only focus on that next one. You can have an eye on the one in front of you if it's coming close, and you can have plans and preparations for it. But you've just hit the nail on the head. You just focus on, regardless of what's going on out and around, excuse me, in terms of what's happening outside the club. You can't affect that as a player. You can't. You've just got to take that noise away. This group is not. I keep saying this group is not a young group. It's an experienced group. So they know what they need to do. They're fighting. They're ready. That's what they need to do. That's the full focus is on that now. That game tomorrow, getting this place bouncing, and being ready for the next challenge, which is the game tomorrow.
And you're here all the time. There was so much noise after Friday, and that almost overshadowed the game on Sunday from an outside perspective. Do you believe, do the players believe this relegation fight is a fight that can be won?
Yes, definitely. I believe it. You can probably say, well, are you going to say that? But you've got to. I've seen enough within the group. I know this group's been here before. I've seen the reaction and response the other day, how they all come together. And them signs are good. And I've seen bits within the play where they're just starting to think, right, this is possible. There's still a lot of football to be played, a lot of points to be played for. It's not going to be defined by tomorrow night. It's going to be defined the time you're at the last game of the season. That's when we'll be told whether we've been good enough. But I still think this group has enough. Nice.
In a weird way, the departure of Sean sort of made that more clear in the players' minds. It's like, oh, this is serious now. The manager's gone. Look at the situation we're in. Let's sort of. Yeah,
I think that can be a trigger as well. That can be a trigger for a team. Sometimes it gives them a jolt. I'm thinking, right, this is where we're at. What do we do as a group now? Do we sit and wallow, or do we come together and try and take on that next challenge, which I've seen so far? That's what they've done.
How pleased have you been with the sort of players and the way they've got round each other and perhaps sort of lifted things in training as well, maybe?
Yeah, I've been pleased with that. Again, that you're always looking for that as a manager or a coach, how the players are responding to what's happening and around them, and the response that we've seen in training and within the games. And again, you just get when you've been in football a long time, you get a feel for a group. More than anything else, it's just like a sixth sense, how they're feeling, how they're being, getting a judge for the dressing room. And at the moment, I can see a group pulling together.
You mentioned you've spoken to the chairman and he sort of said, look after the team for Southampton.
Yeah.
Is that the extent of the conversation you've had?
Yeah, honestly, I spoke to him. He just said he thanked everyone for the game. He just said, I'd like you to just take charge of this game and I'll let you know in due course what will happen from there.
How hard is that for you as an interim manager or as under 23 manager stepping up into first team to sort of not know whether you're coming or going after Thursday?
No, I don't look at it like that. I don't look at it like that. I just try and think, just focus on what we're doing now. I don't know what's going to happen in 2 or 3 days' time. Okay, if I try to live in the future and what I do, I can't do that. I've just got to live in the moment that I'm in, this moment in time. That's the way football is.
I'm guessing you'll be kept in the loop as much as you can be, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. But again, it's not like an everyday conversation. It's just, listen, this is where we're at. This is what we'd like you to do with the rest of the group. The whole staff, everyone's pulled together and around it. Everyone's mucking in. Everyone's drawn into it. So that's where we're at.
Just going back to Sunday, do you know what the nature of Westy's injury is? Is it a broken ankle or?
It's an ankle injury. I can't say whether it's a break, a dislocation, because the waiting. He's been at home. People have spoken to him. All we know now is the doc said to me yesterday that they're going down today to see the surgeon, and then hopefully, as soon as I know any more, you'll be the first to know.
Thanks. Just looking on the penalty on Sunday as well, I meant to ask you after the game. Obviously, Maxwell took it. I don't know if he was designated as a penalty taker. Jay Rodriguez had the ball as well. Just what was the sort of situation there on the field?
Listen, everyone, it's well publicised what's happened with the penalty. We've spoke about it as a group, and we just move on.
Just Maxwell obviously won the penalty and was confident enough to step up and take it. Yeah,
he got up and took it. He's missed it. Like I said before, after the interview the other day, he's put a great ball in for the corner. So listen, we're not going to lambast the lad. He's missed a penalty. We move on, but we've discussed it as a group, and it's clear with him what we're doing.
So you've got a designated penalty taker, whether that's
I'm
him
not
or
going
not.
to tell you.
No, I know, yeah, but there is one. Whether it's him or not.
Yes, there will be, yeah.
Yeah,
there will be.
Just last one, looking ahead to Thursday night. Obviously, we saw at Everton what a difference that home crowd can make, and the support. It's been an uncertain few days for fans. It's going to be an uncertain few days and weeks potentially. What would your sort of message be to them in terms of rallying behind the group?
I think you only have to look how they came down to the game on Sunday, and I've played it when it's been like this against Burnley. I've played under light tier against Burnley. I've played in big games when I was at Preston when they've been, and I know what it's like to play, and I know the impact that group of fans can have. They know the football, and I'm sure they've done it before. I'm sure they're with the group. I think they know that they're not daft. They know where the club is. But all I would say is the impact that they can have, I hope they can see they've got a group that's fighting for them. If they can bring that, which they've done before, like I said before, that can be a really powerful thing inside the ground. You want it to be somewhere where people are coming, it's not nice to come, and that's what we need to make it.